and get started. I'm sure we'll have some feedback. I'm sure we'll have some stragglers coming in. But I am recording, so if you have people who are not able to make it, didn't see the message on August 15th, the reminder last night, or hear the announcement that Naima made this morning, you can tell them that it will be posted as soon as IT is done doing their magic and makes it postable. So we're going to cover everything you need to know for your seniors for this year. When you came in, you should have picked up an envelope and a bunch of other stuff from Johnston's, and Ryan will be taking over in a few minutes. You should have picked up a senior handbook, which is a packet that's stapled, and a senior activity sheet, a fee sheet. So all of those things are the important stuff. I'm going to cover the handbook and the activities sheet, and then I'm going to hand the meeting over to Ryan to take over for all the other graduation-y stuff. All right? Class of 2025? Woo! Okay, there should be a little bit more excitement. Let's try that again. Even if the kids are like, yeah, I don't know if I want to go, the parents are like, yeah, class of 2025. All right, class of 2025. So ignore on the activity sheet where it says Grad Bash 2023, pretend that that says 2025. You can get a pen, you can mark through that. Okay, so senior fees this year are $185. Your due date for that is March 28th. Miss Walker, when she's done helping people sign in, will tell us whether or not there's a school store for that and how to go about making payments if there is a payment plan this year. Miss Walker wants to walk on up here right now and tell us that.
Randy, what are you asking me?
Okay, so you have to stand here because we're recording for the people who are not here.
Okay.
All right. The question is there a school store for the fees, and is there a payment plan option? All that good stuff. Miss Walker, by the way, is the new Miss Silva. Miss Silva has been our bookkeeper for the last 12, 13, 14 years, whatever, since we opened. She has officially moved north. Her last day was yesterday, so Miss Walker has been in training for the last year, so she is now officially the new bookkeeper.
Yes, there will be a school store up and payment plan. I don't believe we did one last year that I knew of, so no, unless I'm instructed otherwise.
You're instructed otherwise.
Okay, so
the school store will go up, and
I'll give payment options up there as well.
okay, and so I can send a blast when that happens?
Yes.
All right, so blast will go out when the school store is active. So your senior fees, the $185 senior fees are going to cover your the gown rental, the cap and tassel you keep. Brian's going to talk more about that when he gets up here. It's going to cover the diploma cover, your graduation tickets. We'll talk more about that in a minute. The programs, your senior pin and cords, which are yours to keep, all senior awards, the flowers, which I'll go into in a minute, the graduation venue. That is also a mistake on here. The graduation venue this year is not the Fenn Center. It is the Civic Center. We tried the Fenn Center last year. It was absolutely awful. So we are not going to do that again for graduation. Couldn't hear anything, and it was way too big to control. So we're not doing that again. Graduation picture. So there's a couple of pictures that are going to happen during graduation. It covers those. And it does cover your yearbook. Now, our yearbooks come out in the fall, in August, September, like last year's just came out, and they're in the office for you to pick up, but it does cover the cost of your senior yearbook. All right, Grad Bash, the date on here on the senior sheet, on the activity sheet is correct. It is April 2025. The year obviously is wrong, but the date is correct on there. I know there were some rumors going around that Grad Bash and prom were both on the same night, and that was not accurate. That was a mistake on a calendar. So prom is April 5th, Grad Bash is April 25th. All right. And then the senior activities are listed down here at the bottom. The senior barbecue, no cost to you guys that day. is Mr. Treador takes Mr. Treador, Mr. Gary, take all the seniors out to J.C. Park, and they barbecue for the kids, they cook out for the kids, and the kids just hang out at the park all day. So that one is no cost. That's Mr. Treador's gift to the senior class. And then the Senior Awards Banquet, pinning and roast. The Senior Awards Banquet, pinning and roast. So we do it all the same night. So they get their pins, they get their cords. We go through all the awards. And the roast part of that is that your children, if they've been here since 9th grade for the last 4 years, if they've been here since 6th grade for the last 7 years, have made their teachers' lives miserable. It is the one night that I am giving permission to the teachers to get theirs with your kids, so they get to roast your kids that night. It's kind of funny. A lot of teachers end up like recognizing specific kids that have made an impact on them and what have you. So it has the TBD, stands for to be determined. That cost is not set. That cost is always by what it ends up costing us to rent the place and the RSVPs. I want to say that it usually runs around, Ms. Walker, correct me if I'm wrong, 30 or 35, 40, somewhere between 30 and 40, somewhere between 30 and 40 per person, and that does include the senior. That location on there is correct. That is at the Fenn Center. The senior checkout day is Friday, May 16th. That means that is the last day the seniors have to be on campus. The following week, they do not have to be on campus. So the checkout day is the 16th. That is also the day. So they will come on campus that week. They're going to get, at the beginning of that week, they're going to get a form, a senior checkout form, and they will spend the week going around getting their teachers to sign off. I don't owe any books. I don't owe uniforms to the athletic department. I don't owe money to the cafeteria. They get all their sign-offs that they don't owe anything, and then at the end of the week, they take that, and they turn in their personal email address and their change of contact information, so the guidance department has that.
Future plans.
Their future plans, where they're going to college, all of that kind of stuff. So all that information is on this form, and then at the end of that week, that Friday, they take that form completely filled out, signed off on by every department they have to get the signature for, and they take that to Miss Walker, and they give her that form, and it says, I'm done, I'm checked out, and she says, here's a bag, this is yours, it has your name on it, and in that bag is the cap and the gown and the tassel and the tickets for graduation, and then your kids leave campus, and then we don't see them again until they crash field day before graduation, last day of school. We see them at graduation. And that's it. That's probably the most exciting day for the kids, is picking that up. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So the awards banquet, the senior pinning, roast, and awards banquet, it is for the families. So it is for you. There will be, depending on the number, we will start with a X number limit, and then if we don't, by a certain date, if we don't have whatever that number, that total number is RSVP, we'll open it up and say, okay, each kid can have one more seat or what have you. We usually, so this graduating class, we're looking at 157 kids, and the biggest graduating class we've had. So 157 seniors, never had a graduating class this size before. So numbers, we've never dealt with numbers like this before. So we are kind of experimenting with how we're going to do this, how we're going to make it fair, how we're going to set those deadlines for RSVPs, and then opening it up for whatever's left over, whatever's extra. So, senior checkout day, covered that, and then graduation. Graduation is at the Civic Center. Write that down, because on here it is wrong. Graduation is at the Civic Center, also known as the Mid-Florida Center, Mid-Florida Event Center, the one over on US 1. All right, so that's where it is. Students must arrive, seniors must arrive by 12. Seniors must arrive by 12. It is a very long day. You may not sneak out to go get food and then come back and think you're gonna get back on time, all right? They need to be there by 12, bring a bag lunch, have pizza delivered, whatever, but you're not leaving. When you get there, you're not leaving, all right? You need to come dressed, ready to go. You don't need to come wearing your gown. You can bring your gown on a hanger, all right, but you need to come dressed. That period of time from 12 until about 3:30, we will be going through graduation rehearsal. Most schools do rehearsal the day before graduation. We don't because we can't get the venue. So we do ours the day of. So we will be doing graduation rehearsal, and then the actual graduation starts at 4 o'clock. We typically open the doors to parents. I always say 3:45, and then usually it's between 3:30 and 3:45 that we open the doors to parents. I want to be able to open the doors at 3:30 to give you guys that amount of time to get in, get your seats, get situated, especially because there's a check-in process. Whether or not I open those doors at 3:30 or at 3:45 is 1,000% dependent on your children. So you tell your children, get in there, get it done, get it right, pay attention, get quiet, let's get through this, so the parents can get in earlier. Earlier you guys get in, more likely we are to start on time. We've never started on time ever in the entire time we've been doing this, but the more likely we are to start on time, and then you guys get out at a decent hour and you make your graduation dinner reservations that you have. All right, did I see a question? Yes, ma'am. Tickets, I'm getting there, I'm getting there. The question was how many tickets per student. You'll notice as we flip through the handbook, it actually says TBD, so give me just a minute, we'll get there. Yearbooks, the senior portraits, we did the senior portraits over the summer with Focused on Forever. If you need a makeup day for senior portraits, you need to reach out to them directly. And their numbers on the bottom of the senior activity sheet. All right, flipping over to the handbook, where it starts senior fees, that's everything we just covered. That first sentence where it says senior fees covers everything except where it says yearbook, that's not correct. Your senior fees do cover the yearbook. They do cover the yearbook. You are not paying for your yearbook. So that sentence is incorrect. All right, again, your due date is March 28th. If something happens and you do not graduate, if something happens and you are unable to graduate and you are here one more year, then and you've already paid your senior fees.
No, they're graduating.
They will roll over, I have to tell them, they will roll over to the next year. So if you do end up here for another year for whatever reason, the fees, and you've already paid them, they will roll over to the next year. Ms. Russo says not an option, non-negotiable, everybody's graduating.
We're all graduating.
All right. Cap and gown, Ryan is going to cover that. Announcements, Ryan's going to cover that, so I'm going to pass that up. Picking it up, I already covered that. Graduation, I covered that. Dress code for graduation. So when you put the gown on, whatever I can see between the bottom of the gown and the floor is what needs to be in dress code. All right, so we're not going to do flip-flops. We're not going to do tattered sneakers. All right. Have a little bit of pride, all right? None of the slides, the Crocs, the flops, nothing that you can trip on, because you're gonna go up a set of stairs to get onto the stage. You're gonna walk across the front of the stage. You're gonna stop a couple of times, shake a couple of hands, and then you're gonna go downstairs again. And you're gonna walk around an entire room. Let me tell you how many times I have had my wonderful young ladies who, no, I'm fine, I can wear these. And they're like 9 inches. And yeah, catching you as you go to fall off the stage, not our finest moment, especially if it's being recorded. All right, so make sure whatever shoes you choose, you can walk in them. All right. The requirements for attending senior activities: if you are on academic or behavioral probation, you are not eligible. You are not eligible to attend any of your senior fees. I am hoping that I don't have a senior that's on academic or behavioral probation. I will tell you that I have had seniors get themselves on probation in December. In October, I think October is when homecoming is. I've had seniors get themselves on probation at homecoming. I've had seniors get themselves on probation at prom, okay? And I know I get but I'm only a senior once. I've only got one chance at prom. Can I please? And y'all been here long enough. If you're seniors, you've been here a while, you know Miss Raines, you know I'm not gonna make an exception, all right? So make sure you got less than a year to go, guys. Y'all can keep it together for less than a year, yeah? All right. You need to make sure that you get that GPA over 2.0. You need to make sure that you have all of your credits. Speaking of credits and GPA, senior meetings already started. Your senior guidance meetings already started. I already sent out the blast. I already sent out the sign-up link. Miss Russo says the first batch of sign-up spots have already been booked and filled up, so she's going to send me another blast to send out with dates. You're just adding the dates?
Yep.
Okay, so she's adding dates and opening up more slots since they all filled up already. It is your responsibility, seniors, to show up to your senior meetings. You must show up to your senior meetings. That's where you sit with guidance and you figure out where you are GPA-wise, if you're short a credit, if you, oh man, I failed that class back in 9th grade and I forgot to make it up and it's not on my schedule and now I'm not graduating. All right, so you have to be at your senior meetings. This is where we catch the mistakes, and it's why we do it early senior year so that we have the spring to fix anything we miss. All right, so you guys have got to make sure you're signed up for that. Parents, if your kid has not signed up, make sure your kid signs up. All right, and if your kid sits there and tells you they don't know what I'm talking about or what a senior meeting is, they need to look at the announcements, they need to look at the text blast, they need to look at the website, they need to look at the Facebook page, they need to, all the other ways that we communicate, and then listen to Miss Naima on the morning announcements every single morning after the pledge. She gives you all the tea, all right? So make sure that's done. Next page is senior pinnings I covered, activity week, cords. So the cords, if you are not going to attend the senior banquet, award ceremony, pinning and roast, if you are not attending that evening, then when you, after that evening, your cords will be bundled and they will be with Miss Walker and you will need to come by her office and pick them up. They are yours to keep, and you want to wear them at graduation. You want to wear them at graduation. If you've earned it, you want to show it off, all right? So make sure if you don't come to the dinner where we cord you, make sure afterwards you see Miss Walker to get any cords that you have earned. The list of cords and all the criteria are there on those last couple of pages. Val and Sal, I think everybody already knows this, but I'm going to hit it anyway. Valedictorian, highest weighted GPA of the student who has been a Somerset student since the first day of their 9th grade cohort. So you can't transfer in 11th grade from another school where like every single class was super easy and have like a 5.7 GPA and come in and think, oh, I'm going to be valedictorian here, where the classes are a whole lot harder and the classes, the kids have to work really hard for their GPA here. So you have to have started first day of school, 9th grade, in order to be eligible to be valedictorian or salutatorian. So valedictorian, highest weighted GPA, salutatorian, second highest GPA. So when you're looking at the class rankings, then the kids know you guys have that box outside in the breezeway where we have the class rankings, your 5, 6 numbers there, so it's not by your name, and y'all are ranked first in the class, second in the class, third in the class. Just because you're first in class, if whoever my family, I have no idea who it is, but if my first in class hasn't been here since 9th grade, they're not valedictorian. It's the highest one who's been here since 9th grade. The second in class may not necessarily be the salutatorian because they may have transferred in, all right? And then the last page should be a contract. It is excellent, we did that. Last page is your contract. Parents, review this with your children. Review this with your children. Your children are initialing and signing off, and there's a blank down there for the parent to sign off also, that you understand everything I've gone over here. Especially the GPA, the credits, the not being on probation, all of that stuff. Okay, so we want everybody to be able to graduate. Ms. Walker?
Closing the doors when they start coming out during the processional. Did you speak about that? I missed it. When we close the doors, we don't allow anybody in.
Okay, if you are not, so when I was talking about what time we open the doors for you guys, for parents or audience members to come in for the for graduation, when the processional starts, I close the doors. If you are not in the room when Pomp and Circumstance starts and I start leading these children out, then you'll wait until after they're on stage, and then we'll open the doors again. So you need to be there on time in the room when the processional starts. That moment for your kids, as they are walking down that aisle to Pomp and Circumstance, and they're headed to that stage, and they like it's right there, it's so close they can taste it. That is their moment, and I will not have it interrupted by people running in and out or making noise coming in. All right, they deserve every bit of their recognition and respect that we can show them on that day. All right, so I will close those doors when that starts, and you won't be able to come in, so be on time. Otherwise, you're gonna wait in the lobby. As soon as they're on stage, we'll open it back up, and y'all can come in then. All right? Okay. Anything else I missed for that one? Anything I missed for you? I talked about your guidance meetings that you want me to talk about?
Yep.
Okay, so now I am going to introduce you guys to Ryan. He has been our point of contact for our graduations since we started having graduations. He is going to go over everything he needs to go over with you guys, so give him your attention. Ryan. And you have to use this. I know you don't want to, but you have to because we're recording.
I'm learning. I'm getting there. You guys can, good evening. My name is Ryan Comparato. I'm one of the Jocelyn reps that work here with you guys. And don't worry, I'll be respectful of your time. I've not prepared a speech. So we'll be quick. Before I go through a few things, stuff that you got on the way in that's important, at least from my perspective. You got an envelope that had a catalog in. I'm old school. I still like actual paper to look through. At times, if you guys didn't get one, she will bring one right up to you. Okay? About as loud as we can go. Does that work? Okay. Catalogs. I'm old school. I like paper. A lot of you don't. We have a version that isn't paper, but I bring this up as a full grad catalog. It is a full ring catalog. Everything there for you. This is a cap and gown form. We're going to go over this. You're going to fill in the couple bits of information I need at the end. And you're going to put them in, there are brown boxes. If you look on the way out, I have fashionably put them by a microwave and another one over there on a chair. It does not matter which one you drop this in when you leave. Just drop it for us, and this is going to be the information for your caps and gowns. Again, we'll go over that in a minute. This sheet here, this is a cheat sheet. This is my way for streamlining. We have a bad habit, I feel, of telling people to go to a website without any further instruction and expect you to find things. So I've made sheets for all of you that have QR codes that take you right past the front end of the website and directly to everything you need specific to your school only. So you don't have to worry about getting lost. It is a digital catalog. It's the link directly to order. Also ring designer, jacket builder, all the payment information, all in QR codes here. In the front of this, you've got my office information. At the very end of the day, we're here to help you get through this. You know, it's 13 years of hard work. It's a big moment for you, big moment for your family. Because of this, we answer carrier pigeon, email, phone calls, text messages, literally anything, all through the weekend and night. So if you have a question, please reach out to us. We want to help you. That's what we do at the end of the day. Stuff that is, let's see if this thing will work. There we go. So lots of stuff to talk about. And again, I'll be quick. The biggies, you've got apparel, announcements, class rings, caps and gowns, and all of that stuff is in various places. Announcements, you have a few options. Now, I love it when parents are here because students look at me and they're like, why do we send things through mail? Parents know the same thing I do, that we send things for big events in life, high school graduation, college graduation, when you get married, and then we use, some form of digital communication for everything else. But big events in life that have an element of class, we still send announcements. The far left up there is an image of a traditional announcement. Your actual announcement you'll see on the website. It's very nice, school seal, mascot inside. Down at the bottom, if you are an artistic person, which I am not, I'm devoid of all artistic ability. I cannot sing, I cannot dance, and I darn sure can't draw. So I don't do anything that doesn't work out of the box. But for all of you who walk around with a camera in your back pocket, want to design your own announcements, my girls at home always design their own stuff. You can do that, and then you can drag and drop the school seal and mascot right onto the announcements there, design whatever you want. And then there's also mascot announcements. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. At the end of the day, announcements are there to let people know about the accomplishment that your students have made and to make a connection with people that you may or may not have seen for quite a while. However you send them out or what you guys choose is going to be completely up to you, but there are probably 200 different designs for photo announcements and a bunch of other things that are really nice up there, different ways you can class it up, personalize it, that are up there today. So technology has helped us a lot over the years. It's not just one option you guys have. You have a lot of different options that are there that'll all be custom to your school. Last thing I always talk about is when people send announcements, typically they send some things back to support you. I always encourage students to send a thank you card. Whether it's a card that comes from us, a piece of notebook paper out of your desk, it doesn't really matter. If you take a couple minutes to thank people properly, it will mean the world to them. Other options or other things that are important for graduation, apparel I think is probably the number one thing. In America, we always wear what's important to us. Our teams, the clubs are a part of, schools. We wear that on ourselves quite a lot. So senior apparel is one of the ways that we celebrate your senior year and your senior status. We make a bunch of different items, some of which can be customized. A lot of them are just as you see them. But all of our senior apparel drop ships to your house in about 2 weeks. So it's not something you have to wait, like your cap and gown to the end. You can get your t-shirts, hoodies, sweats, all the different things, and a few things for parents as well, ship right to your door, and you'll have them in about 2 weeks to enjoy all year long. And so lots of different ways with apparel that we give you guys to celebrate as well. Class rings are one of the things in Florida, for the most part, we usually do them as juniors. Tradition has been around a very long time, but I'll be honest, after COVID, a lot of that kind of got mixed up because we had a couple years where things didn't happen at the right time. So if I look across my territory now, about 6 counties, it's about 50-50. About half the juniors do rings as juniors, and about half the seniors are doing rings now as seniors. So in the catalogs, you have a full ring catalog to help for that, but also ring information. You've got a finger sizer in there, and then on the sheet that I gave you has a lot of ring information as well. If you want to design your ring as a senior, again, they connect you to the school, this time in your life, the activities you're a part of, and hopefully years later when you look back, you'll have some fond memories of this school in your senior year. So lots of ways you can do it. All of that was shipped directly home to you. So all that information is there as well. Jackets, there's an icon for Jacket Builder or a QR code, both for soft shell jackets, which is like a fancy way to say a windbreaker that's custom for the school. You can design those, or you can design letter jackets online as well. So these have been a pretty popular item over the last couple of years. And then to the part that's very important is your cap and gown. As Ms. Rain said, your caps and gowns here, the cost is part of your senior due or senior fee, whatever the verbiage for that was, so you don't pay me for it. We provide them. You're going to keep your cap and your tassel when you graduate. I'll be there with you, and we're going to come off the stage. You're going to throw them into a big box when you pick up your diploma. I'll be there helping you guys out along with all the staff, and you'll keep your cap and you'll keep your tassel for a memento. What I need you guys to fill out while you're here, because believe it or not, even though you go to the school in the same place every day, it is difficult getting everybody's height and weight, is only what I've highlighted. because these forms have a lot of information. So what I need is only your student's first and last name up top. I need your student's height and weight, and then I need their gender. And that's it. And that's how we size gowns. Nothing else on that form I need. I don't need any of the money, nothing. First and last name, height, weight, and gender. And guys, here's the thing about height and weight. What I need is, ladies, let me take a step back. You're amazing with this. You'll give me like 5'4¼ inches tall. You know exactly how tall you are. And then in most meetings, I have guys that stand up and look at each other, and they're like, well, how old are you? I don't know, I'm 5'12". And I remind them that that's 6 feet. So it happens every meeting. What I really need is I need you guys to look good to where the gown is gonna fall mid-calf, which is where you want it. At the end of the day, no matter what size gown you get, mid-calf is where you want that thing to fall to look right. Get me within 2 inches, and get me within about 25 pounds. If for some reason you shrink miraculously between now and graduation, I will fix it. I have a huge warehouse in Melbourne. I can take care of anything you need, but that's where we're at. If you can get me within 2 inches of your height, and about 25 pounds with your weight, we're good. And no, I'll just cover it now. That stuff's not printed on anything because I know sometimes those things are touchy, but no one will see that ever again. It will go bye-bye. And once you guys fill that out, like I said, there's 2 brown boxes on the way out, conveniently placed. You can drop that. This is the sheet. I know I went over this, but I always bring it up because I think this is the one thing out of everything we give you that helps you the most, just because it takes you directly to what you need and has our office information there. And that's it. Like I said, I want to be real respectful of your time, but I'll be here. If you have questions about anything, please see me. Aside from that, I'll give it back to Ms. Raines, but have a fantastic senior year, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Y'all thank him. All right, I realized that I missed one thing, and I said I would get to it, and then I totally didn't get to it. Number of tickets for graduation. I mentioned 157 seniors, right? So I do want you to know, for those of you who've not been to any of our graduations before, we do it a little bit different. Traditional public high schools, your seniors are sitting on the floor in front of you. So you're sitting there, your seniors are in front of you, facing the stage. You're looking at the back of their heads the entire graduation ceremony, right? Except for when they walk across the stage. We don't do that. I put them on stage. They are sitting on the stage facing you the entire time. You are facing them the entire time. You see their face the entire time, all right? So what that means is that my stage is large because of that, because I think it's silly for you guys to go over the back of our heads and you're not even sure which kid it is whose head you're looking at. I think that's my kid, I'm not positive, all right? Unless they've got like green hair or something, then you know who you're looking at. So I have them on stage, I have them facing you guys. That means the stage is large. Because of that, the stage takes up floor space, all right? This is not something I'm willing to give up. This is something that we've done since we started graduation. It's not something I'm willing to concede, all right? So what that means is that because that stage is taking up floor space, that's less floor space for our audience members. We have, when we have had a tiny graduating class, like 60-something, 70-something, we were able to do like, I think 11 tickets per kid. And then when we've had the larger ones and when we had COVID, I think we had like 5 per kid. So we've had anywhere from like 5 to about 11. Our average is 6 or 8. That's normal. Our average is 6 or 8 tickets. Traditional public high schools, I think it's like 2 or 4. All right, so even with that, the reason I have a TBD in there right now, and I can't give you the number right now, is because we sent an email today to the Civic Center because they were telling me that I could only have this many seats on the floor. And I went and pulled up, Ms. Walker went and pulled up maps where we have had prior graduations, and I'm counting the little itty bitty teeny tiny dots that are chairs, and I'm mathing and trying to figure out how many I've had before, and what they're telling me and what I think that I'm doing on the math. And if everybody knows me, y'all know I'm terrible with math, but I try. It doesn't make sense. So it's looking like the last number they gave me was a total of like 950 audience member seats, and that's not enough. That's not enough. I need, what was it, 1,000? I need over 1,200 seats, so I'm going back and forth with them right now. And that's to get me at 8 tickets per graduate. That's to get me to 8 tickets per graduate. That is my goal. It may not happen. You may end up at 6 tickets per graduate. All right? That being said, here's how this works. Stop panicking. Hold on. Breathe. Give me a second. I got know they're looking at their parents. They're going, oh my God, who's not going to be able to come? Chill for a second. All right? What we do is whatever the magic number ends up being, whatever it ends up being, that's the number of tickets that are going to be in your bag with your cap and gown that you're going to pick up on senior checkout day. In April, at the beginning of April, I'm going to send out an announcement, and I'm a text blast, and I'm going to tell you, if you need more, get yourself on a wait list. And it's going to be first come, first serve as far as the email goes. The first email she gets, not before April 1st, because it's going to get deleted. So when I send out the announcement, her email's going to go out, and you're going to say, I need 3 more tickets. And she's going to put you on a list and put a 3 there. And that's how that's going to go, okay? Then I'm going to have the kids who I don't need 8 tickets, I only need 4, and they're going to give up their tickets back to us, and that's how we distribute it. All right, there's always kids who don't need as many as we give, and there's always kids who need way more than we give. All right, and that's how we do it. If you don't need all 8, then when you pick up your bag, you're right then and there, you're going to say, okay, here, I only need 4 of these, here's my other 4, and that will go to a family who needs more by who responds first. So first come, first serve. All right, so that's how that's going to happen. But again, I don't know the magic number. We sent an email again this morning. As soon as she tells me that they've responded and we can calculate that, you guys will know. I will make sure you have that information the second I have that information. I wanted to have it for tonight. It didn't happen. So I'm relying on other people. All right, so I think that was the only question that I forgot to answer. Are there any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
For senior, when they do the senior checkout, I know Pam and a couple of others, they're at the college all day. So who do they check out with?
So, okay, the question is if we don't have classes on campus, if we're off campus all day, how do we do checkout? So again, as I stated, checkout starts at the beginning of the week. You guys, the students are going to get an email with their checkout form in their email, and they will be able to come on campus as they can through the week to get all of their signatures and to do anything they owe, all their paperwork, whatever it is they need to do. So they will be able to do that at their leisure. That's why that we send the form out at the beginning of the week, because we know they have OJT and DE and what have you, right? And then now the only day that she's going to accept the checkout forms, thank you. The only day she's going to accept the checkout forms and give the packages are on that Friday. But she's going to have it open all day long, and by then, your kids shouldn't still be in DE classes. Your kids should be done by then. Yeah. So, I mean, they may have work, but you're finding out now it's August 29th. Schedule it. So, all right, other questions?
When's that contract got to be filled out?
Oh, thank you for asking that. I'm sorry. The question was, I saw myself doing it. The question was, when is the contract due back? If you are done and you're ready to sign it, you can sign it tonight. You can hand it to Ms. Walker on your way out the door. All right. If not, if you want to go home and read everything word for word, because it does say I have read the entire thing and I understand every bit, and I've had the opportunity to ask my questions. All right. So if you want to actually read it before you put your John Hancock there, the kids can turn it in next week. Okay. Yes. Okay. Any other questions?
Make sure they have the
Yes,
reminder
ma'am.
messages on.
Do we need to keep a copy of this, or you just give both?
No, that one's for Ryan. You're just going to turn that one in.
Thanks.
The question was about the blue and white sheet with the yellow highlighted. First name, last name, male, female, height, weight. That's just your capping out. All right? Other questions? All right, after you leave here tonight and you get home and you start talking to your students and you have questions, you come up with questions, you're going to email Miss Walker. Anything she can't answer, she is going to get an answer and then respond to you. So any other questions that you have regarding graduation, go to Miss Walker, and that is walker.gina with 2 N's, Gina with 2 N's, G-I-N-N-A, at somersetcollegeprep.org. All right? The rest of the senior activities that are not listed there, that the senior committee is putting together. Senior committee, do you want to speak for a second? I see some of y'all back there. There's other senior activities that are not listed on there. Do you want to speak to that? I know they're planning a senior breakfast. I know that date and information is not out yet. But a blast will go out. And the senior committee meetings are on Mondays.
Monday during lunch and character class.
Mondays during lunch in Mr. Kiley's class. All right, so all seniors can attend and have their input? Yes? Okay. So senior committee meetings Mondays during lunch in Kay's classroom. All right, any other questions? Oh, I got a question way back there. Yes, ma'am. I heard something about a chord. What? I have no idea. So the question was for the music chord, does band count? I'm pretty sure the one that's listed is Wally's. I think it is. As far as band, since we're just now starting band this year, I'm going to guess probably not. But talk to Roxy and Wally and see. Wally's his department head, so she would know. Okay. Other questions? Yes, sir.
Will there be a remind specifically for seniors?
Say it again.
Will there be a remind specifically for seniors?
Yes, have your reminds on, everybody. by the way.
So the question was, is there a specific Remind Blast just for seniors? The answer to that is no, because it gets way too confusing. So everything seniors need will go out with everything else that goes out. And yes, I know, I can see, but I missed the message because it was buried in 1,500 other messages. You either get the school that communicates too much or the school that doesn't communicate enough. Ready. All right. Other questions? All right, thank you guys for coming in.
Class of 2025. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Bye, love.
Sorry.
There you go.
No way, you still recording. Oh my.